didn't have good self-esteem, because I didn't have self-love. And I think back to like that young 20-year-old who was just trying to just be everything that she felt like everybody else wanted her to be, and look the way that she felt like, you know, other people felt like she should look, and work the jobs and do the things that she felt like everybody else felt like she should do. And I really just want to hug that girl.
Yeah, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now.
Me Cece, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. I hope that you would stay, subscribe, and become a part of the Fashionceesta family. Here over on my channel, I show you how to be your baddest bitch at an affordable cost. But today we are doing a very special chit chat. Get ready with me. Your girl's turning 30. Well, you guys see this video is going to be on my actual birthday. So your girl turns 30 today. You know, I'm filming this on the 26th. So, you know, happy birthday to me. I figured that it would be fun, you know, instead of me just doing like just talking, kind of telling you guys like 20 things that I've learned in my 20s that, you know, I feel like are truly going to help me going into my 30s. This video is super long-winded, so I appreciate those of you guys who decide to stick all the way through. There is a surprise for you guys that will be cut in, so make sure you guys watch the whole video, because I know y'all see that giveaway is in the title and it's not clickbait. There is actually a prize giveaway. So yeah, again, thank you guys in advance so much for your birthday wishes, and I hope that you all enjoy this. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. This is the last video I'm gonna film being a 20-something-year-old woman. That's so crazy to me. So I am getting ready to take my birthday pictures. It's like a annual thing that I do for myself. Okay, so I figured I would talk to you guys while I do my makeup. Y'all know I have ADHD, so I wrote down some of the things that I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about 20 things that I learned in my 20s while I do my makeup. You guys already know. I don't always show the products that I'm using. What I've been doing is I've been sitting the products that I used off to the side, so that way when I am uploading a video and I go to fill out the description box, I have all the products that I use and in the order that I use them. So if you guys have any questions about any products that you guys see me use, make sure you guys are open and reading the description box, because that's where the products will be in the order in which you guys see me use them. Honestly, I don't know how to feel, y'all. I feel like tomorrow I'm definitely probably going to be really emotional about the fact that I'm like no longer in my 20s. I've just learned so much, y'all, like so much in my 20s. And I figured that I would make this video because I know there are a lot of younger people who watch my channel. I could give y'all any kind of like big sisterly advice, and that's what I'm gonna do, because baby, when I tell you I thought I knew everything in my 20s, you couldn't tell me shit. I made a lot of dumb decisions, a lot of mistakes in my 20s, as anybody else would. So that's why I said I wanted to go over 20 things I learned in my 20s. And if you guys see me looking down, it's just because, like I said, I did write down a few things that I wanted to go over that I learned in my 20s. So let's go ahead and get started with that. First things first, prayer is everything. Prayer changes things. And I think that like growing up, especially, you know, being Black and growing up in a family that is, you know, Baptist Christians, they really force prayer and religion on you. Like I know I ain't the only person who, like, they family had them involved in everything at church. I was in the youth choir, I was on the junior usher board, all of that stuff, Girl Scouts. Like, my family was heavily involved in the church. Like, the older I got, the more I just strayed away from going to church. I don't think that I ever stopped having a relationship with God, but I definitely stopped going to church. So in 2019, because I made a video about this, I had just a lot going on. I quit my first big girl job to try to move to a new city. Well, I mean, I guess it's not new to me, but I would have been living in a new city like permanently to pursue my dreams, and that fell through, and it really did cause me to spiral into like a low-key, like a, well, not even low-key, like a really deep depression. Like I tell people, outside of like losing my stepfather and coming to terms with that, 2019 was probably the hardest year of my 20s. So long, all I knew was fighting with change. Like change is inevitable, and you have to just let it happen. You have to go, not let life happen to you, but you just have to go through it. Like just go through it. What's going, like, you come out stronger on the other end, and I just feel like that was one of the things that I didn't really realize. 2019, I really had to get in touch with God and, you know, rely on him, because ultimately I didn't have anybody for real in 2019. And when I say I didn't have anybody, because, you know, I know my family watches my channel. I mean, I don't really care, because I'm gonna say what I want to say, and it's not anything that they haven't heard. But in 2019, I just felt very lonely. Me leaving Sprint was like the first time that they had kind of known for me to like leave a job for real. And I was there for almost 5 years. So you think, you know, you work a job like that and you up and leave, and you know, you kind of have a plan, but you don't really have a plan. Like I just felt like, you know, I just didn't really have any real support behind me moving to Atlanta. It was just kind of like, I mean, okay, I guess, girl. And I understand, because I had tried to move to Atlanta maybe like 4 or 5 times, and you know, it was just always something. It just felt like it was a slap in the face, and I was gonna have to turn around and be like, well, not moving again. And I just didn't want to hear the I told you so's, because I felt like, you know, even just the way that I left my old job and getting out of that toxic environment, I just didn't want anybody to throw the fact that like I left a toxic environment in my face when I was already going through so much, you know? It was a lot of prayer. It was really just me and God a lot. Like a lot of people that I was close to, I fell out with, because I just felt like they weren't being supportive, and the things that were being said to me, it's like, I'm not a person who feels like, oh, I can't hear the truth if it's not what I want to hear. But I just think there's a time and a place for a lot of things. And I feel like a lot of people who I was looking to for comfort were just kind of like showing me tough love. And it's okay to give tough love, but in that moment, I didn't need that. I needed a friend. I needed a relative. I needed somebody to really pour love into me, not beat me down. And that was really what I felt like, you know, my 2019 felt like. But if you guys have seen the video on my channel, you know I bounced back. I ended up getting a job, which I always do. Every time I quit a job, I always get one that pay me better, with better benefits. Like, it's always a come up for me. I've never quit a job and then landed something that was like worse than where I was at. If y'all ever need a job, or, you know, let me know. I'm good at finding a good job. Staying at them, not so much. But finding one, I have no problem. I feel like 2019 really showed me how to just live, and really to just trust God for real. Because when I tell y'all, like, I was down so bad in 2019, like my mom had to pay my rent. Like, that's where I was at. And by the grace of God, like literally the very next month, like I was straight. I ended up finding a different job, and it just showed me like, quit that job today. If you living right and your intentions are pure when you make moves, like God gonna hold it down for real. I think that after 2019 I learned to live a little bit more, because I'm trying to like go down the list, because learning to live was the next thing that I learned in my 20s. But I feel like, you know, I just cared a lot more about people's opinions who were not paying my bills, or who didn't necessarily, I don't want to say didn't have my best interest at heart, but people who like, it's just like, regardless of what happened to me, they were still gonna go on and go live their life. And I placed a lot of people's opinions above my own, and that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I felt like I made in my 20s. Now it's just like, I feel like sometimes, like if I'm going through something or something happens, I just don't even like really reach outside of myself for answers. I go into prayer and I'm just like, you know what, like, God, give me a sign, show me, lead me, whatever, because this is what I want to do, but I want to make sure that what I'm doing is in alignment and it's in line with what you want for me. Not valuing other people's opinions more than I value my own, and learning to really, like, when I say trust God, like legit trusting him to be exactly who he says he's gonna be. And the last 3 years of my 20s have been like amazing. So the next thing, live for you. That kind of ties into what I was saying about like valuing other people's opinions. Like, bro, this is your life. Do what you have to do, because I promise you, if you live your life worrying about what other people think, what other people care about, you are going to miss out on some of the best parts of life. And honestly, that's what was happening to me. Like, everything I did, even like on my channel, like there was just certain things that I didn't want to say, certain things I didn't want to talk about, because I felt like, you know, oh, well, my family, well, what if they see this or this, that, and the third. And my thing is, like, truth be told, people gonna always have a problem with something that you doing or you saying until they see a profit from it. And at the end of the day, like, if it's my truth, it's my truth. And if I want to talk about it, it's like, whatever role you play in it, you should have accepted that when your actions, when you made the actions that you made that were a part of my story. Like, you don't get to silence me, and I don't have to make it digestible if I want to talk about it. So I feel like that was one thing that I definitely started to do in my 20s, is like be more open, and not only be more open, like just stand in my truth and not allow the fact that like I didn't know how I felt like something was gonna affect someone else or how it would make someone else feel stop me from doing what I want to do. Me getting on my platform and me cursing or me wearing certain things, like I felt like instead of me just doing me and being true to myself, I was concerned about how, you know, my parents or my grandparents or whoever would feel. And it's just like, girl, who cares? Like, you are a grown ass woman. You pay all of your own bills. Like, you know your intentions. You not out here. You not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't hurting nobody. Who cares? Like, they had their time to be in their 20s, and now is your time. Like, make all the mistakes, do all the dumb shit that you gonna do. Like, your 20s are literally like such a trial and error. And I feel like some people would say that, but when you in it, it's like you really don't understand. Like, dang, like, I need to just live more. I need to be in the moment, because 30 is kind of when you can just put everything together and be able to and you can be able to just, I don't know, just live and learn from the mistakes that you made in your 20s. And I feel like life is definitely gonna get drastically better. Like, I've just learned so much from just like finances, love, relationships, all types of shit. Like, I just feel like I just learned so much in my 20s. And speaking of relationships, the very next thing that I have, and not just talking like romantic relationships, like relationships in general, blind loyalty is something that is so dumb. I feel like when you in high school and like your parents, people be like, oh, like, listen to your parents when it come down to certain people, like being friends with certain people and things like that. It's just like, my parents don't know my friends and we gonna be friends forever and blah blah blah. I'm not saying that is right, because sometimes people parents don't be good judge of character either, but baby, there's so many people that I feel like I could have been cool with. There's so many people that I could have been friends with, but it was just the fact that like I was friends with my former friends first, and I'm a my friend, my man kind of person. And like when I am told that you did something to hurt somebody that I love or I care about, my blind loyalty to a lot of people, I won't say cost me a lot of relationships, but there was a lot more drama that I endured in my 20s. Hell, in my teens too, with people who I don't even speak to anymore. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, I was really down the ride, probably could have caught a few charges behind just being so loyal to people who they were only loyal to my, I want to call it ass kissing, because that's definitely not what it was. They were only loyal to my availability. Is that the word I'm looking for to them? I feel like that's not the word that I'm looking for, but that's what I'm gonna say. Some people are only as loyal to you as you are available to them, and I learned that the hard way. Like, y'all, I done fell out with relatives that I was super close with, people who I thought I'd be friends with forever, like, just because I feel like I've always been that person where, like, you know, even if my friend wrong, like, I know how to lovingly check the people that I love. But baby, it's so many people that were in my life that I found out was villains, and now it's like, it's just crazy to me that, like, after all of this time, or like after all of these years, some people who, like, I just had conflict with, people who I didn't get along with, now, like, we cool or we cordial, because now I know that, like, my blind loyalty, like I said, it really hindered some relationships with people that I could have been cool with, because hell, I was friends with the problem. So nowadays, I've just learned to stay neutral to shit that's not my business. If I'm cool with somebody and they got an issue with someone and I haven't witnessed, I wasn't there to bear witness to the issue that is at hand, then, like, your problem with that person ain't got nothing to do with me. And baby, if I would have known that in my 20s, it's just so much more getting along with other people that I probably would have had, or like just even my groups of friends, the company that I keep would have been way different if I didn't have such blind loyalty. But that's that Taurus shit. Like, we are loyal people. Like, when we ride for you, we ride for you. Like, if you my friend, like, I got you. Like, it ain't nothing nobody could tell me about you. You know, it was very much given. If you don't like them, then I don't like them either. And it's like, now that I'm older and I look at it, like, that mentality is just so childish, because sometimes your friends be dead ass wrong. Unfortunately, I've had to find those types of things out the hard way. So yeah, blind loyalty in your 20s, if you can avoid it, don't do it. Stay neutral, or just stay out of it, period. Like, that's not to say that your friends can't come and vent to you, but baby, it's a lot of stuff that I definitely could have avoided had I not been trying to be such a ride or die friend. Now, the next thing, take risk. Literally, like, you either gonna fail or shit is gonna go really well. And again, like I said, I have to credit 2019 every time I think about, like, my life really taking a turn for the better, and really my anxiety getting better as a whole, because of everything that I lost and just everything that I went through in 2019. Life is so beautiful, and like, anybody who has ever been successful has taken a risk. Whether it was doing something daring, like changing or cutting their hair, trying out a new hobby, changing careers, quitting that job that paid them all this money for something that wasn't stable. Like, I just look at life like this now. If it's something I can get back, I'm okay with letting it go. A job, if I really want to work, I can get my ass on Indeed and I can always go get another job. What I can't get back is opportunities. And I think back to, like, my younger years when I was a teenager. Matter of fact, when I initially started doing makeup when I was, 20, 21, like, literally I just took risks. Like, I didn't know these people, these celebrities. I didn't have any personal connections inside of the industry, or at least personal connections with people who were willing to put me in a position to win, should I say. And I took risks. Like, I was reaching out to people, the emails that some of these celebrities would have in their bio, I would do that. If it was a event and a promoter was posting a flyer, I was writing people, trying to see, you know, how I could get the opportunity to do celebrity makeup, because for so long that was what I wanted to do. And I feel like, you know, now I'm trying to get back into a space of just taking risks. Like, I'm gonna go ahead, well, I guess I can skip that one because it is on the list, but like, closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't speak up for yourself, if you don't let people know that you can do certain shit, how do you ever expect to get an opportunity? You know what I'm saying? Even if you feel like you are unqualified to do something, you never know where just speaking up or just trying or just putting yourself out there will take you. Like, I haven't posted a video yet, I don't think, talking about it, but I know for sure this video got to go up, because in a second we gonna get into why. I reached out to Lex P of Poor Minds because they were doing a live show in Charlotte, and you know, obviously, like, I've been watching the show since they have been filming in Drea's apartment, like on the fucking floor, and they know how to do their own makeup. You know what I'm saying? And I guess everybody ain't like me. Shit, like, baby, if I could save a coin, I'm gonna save a coin. I was just like, you know, I know they know how to do their own makeup, and they might not, you know, feel like they want to, you know, pay to get their makeup done because they already know how to do it. Like, that's more money in their pocket. And I was just like, but you know what? Fuck it. I'ma just send a DM and I'ma see if she is willing to let me do their makeup. And I ended up doing their makeup for their live show in Charlotte. It was just such a great experience. They were so sweet, and it was honestly a dream come true, because literally working with Poor Minds has been on my vision board since like 2021 maybe. They're so funny. If you guys don't watch it, I'll make sure I link their channel down below in the description box, as well as their Apple Podcast for you guys to tune in. Like, the show is really good. They're so funny, and it's so crazy. They just did an astrology episode, so I found out me and Lex had the same moon, which is probably why I feel a lot of the stuff that she's saying. And me and Drea are both Tauruses, which her birthday was like, what, 3-4 days ago. So her birthday is 5 days before mine. And like, they just felt like friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you watch a show, you just like, dang, like, I really fuck with them. And being that I have worked in the celebrity world with a lot of y'all faves, I'm just here to let y'all know, a lot of this shit be, how can I say this? I don't give a damn. A lot of it be performative. The girls be trying to act like, you know, they for women's empowerment and they cool and all of that. And they don't. People be out for themselves. They be wanting you to work for free and all of this other stuff. So honestly, I was nervous to even reach out. And that's not to say that, like, you know, they were going to be Hollywood, but I feel like when you have been in this industry or have worked in this industry for as long as I have, it's like you just kind of go into it with the expectation of like, they're probably gonna be a little bit cheap. So that was like my fear, because I really love the show. And I'm not gonna say a name, but I'm gonna just say there was a podcast that I used to love down. I used to love this podcast. And I didn't work with them, but I love the podcast so much that when they came to my city, I got the meet and greet. And they were not nice people at all. And I'm the type of person where it's like, I'm sorry, call me emotional, say what you want, I don't give a damn. But when I have a bad experience with people who I support, it just makes me not support them. And to be honest, like, since that experience, I haven't really cared to listen to the show, because it's like, damn, like now I know how you are, because even if you're having a bad day, like you knew you had this show and you were not nice. Like I paid money to meet you, to let you know how I admire what you have going on. So I was a little nervous when I did reach out to Lex, but like when I tell y'all, they welcomed me with open arms. They were so fucking sweet. Just in general, like their whole team, like you can really tell that like that team, they love each other. Like they are really, really friends, and I just can't wait to hopefully work with them again in the future, like as like a permanent part of the team, because that's the type of environment I want to be in. And it's just like, it's a whole bunch of young Black creatives. Nobody was really like egotistical in the room. Like I don't know, like everybody was just so sweet and so welcoming. And I'm not used to that, like not in a corporate America job, not in being a makeup artist, like working with people who treat the people a part of their team like they're actual human beings and not just the help. Like they were so kind to me, and I think that that was the thing that like really stuck with me the most. Like I felt like I'd known them my whole life, and that's the type of work environment that I want to be in. Take risks, trust yourself, trust God to trust you, to trust yourself enough to trust you, and everything's gonna end up working out in the end anyways. I feel like that, honestly, that's really been the theme of my life the last 3 years. It's just like you gotta take those leaps, you gotta take the risks. Sometimes you're gonna fall on your face, sometimes you're gonna land on your feet, and even better, everybody ain't your friend. I think that that's kind of self-explanatory. It's honestly embarrassing that like I'm almost 30 and just having to learn that. And it's so funny because me and my friends, we went to dinner Sunday night and we were just talking about that, like, you know, just, and it's not just limited to like your actual friends, like family too. Like people who constantly like try to like shit on you, or every time you happy about something, they're always trying to downplay it. Like you gotta really be cognizant of the energy that you have around you, and sometimes it don't even be personal. Half the time it's really not even about you. Sometimes a lot of people are just not in a good space themselves, so it'd be hard for them to be happy for other people. Sometimes it's projection, sometimes it's jealousy, but I definitely feel like I have been learning the hard way that not everybody is your friend. And for me, someone who is super sensitive, I tell you this all the time, like my moon is in Pisces. I am a emotional as water sign moon, and I should have wrote that I don't need to take everything personal down on this list. I guess we could squeeze that in there with that. But like I have siblings, but I grew up as an only child, so I feel like when I look at somebody and I call you friend, you really like family to me. So when people who I have invited into my space, because I don't know, I guess it's just like that feeling of always like I've wanted a sibling to grow up with. Like I've wanted, you know, I wish that it wasn't just me in the house with my mom and that I would have had the experience to have siblings. So I feel like when I become friends with people, especially women, and they do things that are like just underhanded or sneaky or evil, and I have to like cut them off or really come to terms with the fact that like, damn, like this person that you riding for, this person that you thought was your friend, really not your friend. Like that shit really be fucking me up. Like one thing about it, I don't have no problem cutting a family member off, cutting a job off, but friends, like I don't know, I just be feeling like it really does make me question my judgment. Like, damn, bitch, you think you got all this discernment, but you done had a motherfucker that was a snake around you this whole time. And it's, I don't know, I just feel like that's probably another one of the hardest pills that I've had to swallow in my 20s, is like, everybody ain't your friend. And trauma bonding is definitely a real thing. Like if anything, you want to make sure that you are friends with people for healthy reasons and not because y'all done went through some similar shit. Like it's okay to be able to vent to your friends because you definitely want to, you know, have people around you that can relate to, you know, the hard times as well. But like if all y'all got to talk about is shit that's negative, then it's like that might not be a good friendship to have. Prime example, I feel like I used to have a terrible relationship with like money, pursuing my dreams. I was always so negative about stuff in life that I wanted, and there would be people who I would always share, like, you know, with things that like I wanted to do, and I just wouldn't do it. And it got to a point where it's just like, bitch, stop calling me if you know that you ain't about to do your dreams. So I'm not about to sit here and sulk with you. Like, either you gonna do it or you not. And if you not, like, I don't want to hear about it, because I already been there with you. So it's like, you know, I understand it, but it's like when it's you that's in that situation, you be like, damn, like I wish I had a friend or somebody that would just listen to me bitch and complain. I don't necessarily agree with, like, you know, cutting people off because they're going through something, but like I'm definitely not gonna sit here and listen to you talk about the same thing 8,000 times and you're not trying to do anything to change it. Like that I will not waste my time. All right, you guys, this is a blast from the future, by the way. So as you guys can see from the title of the video, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. This giveaway is sponsored by DOSSIER. You guys know that I've worked with this brand so many times and I absolutely love them. I am a fragrance whore. That is one thing that I will gladly spend my money on. Fragrance and food, I don't care. I will drop a bag on it. If you guys don't know, DOSSIER is a brand that does cater to giving you guys luxury fragrances for a fraction of the cost. They basically take all the same notes that all of your favorite fragrances use, and they recreate those fragrances that are pretty much spot on. If you ask me, I haven't really had too many fragrances that were given to me to review that didn't smell like the actual product, but they were nice enough to partner with me to be able to give away fragrances. So I do have 3 fragrances for the giveaway. So this is what you need to do in order to qualify for the giveaway. You must be following me on Instagram, and it's the same exact handle as my YouTube channel at thefashionceesta. I will put it here on the screen for you guys to see. Also, please make sure that your Instagram is public, because I'm more than likely going to be contacting the winner via Instagram DM. So if you guys don't have Instagram, I'm sorry. That's where I'm going to be hosting the giveaway. Well, I'm hosting it on YouTube, but I'm going to contact the winner via Instagram. Make sure you contact me within 48 hours so I can get your information, be able to ship your giveaway gift to you. So you must be following me on Instagram. You must be subscribed to my channel in order to qualify to win. Down below in the comment section, I want you guys to tell me what your favorite fragrance is, and what are like your favorite notes. So personally, y'all know I've been obsessed with the MFK Baccarat 540. I feel like everybody loves that fragrance, but you know, it smells good, so I don't care about everybody wearing the same fragrances. How you layer them, you can always, you know, make it your own, but I've been obsessed with that fragrance. And then last but not least, I think I've already said that like your Instagram must be public in order for me to select you for a winner. I am going to be putting all of the people who comment in this video in a drawing and do a random selection. I will give this contest 2 weeks, and then we will close it out and I will ship everything out to the winner. So that means that the giveaway does close on May the 11th, and then I will select a winner and announce them in the next video. Well, not like the next video will be uploaded, but the video after the 11th. I will select the winner, and make sure you watch the content so you can find out whether or not you won, because I will not be putting, you know, giveaway winner announced. No, if y'all watching my content and y'all real supporters, y'all will be able to find it. So yeah, with that being said, that is it. I just wanted to pop in and tell you guys that. Let's go and get back to the video. Also, I guess kind of ties into like you know, living for yourself and taking risks. Like, you literally just do it. Like, I feel like that bullet point is really just self-explanatory. Like, you literally, you just do it. Whatever scares you the most, you should actually do it today. Like, click out of this video and do it today. If you are afraid to quit your job, pause this video and tell your boss, kiss my ass, I'm not coming back. Something better is gonna happen. Like, and I feel like literally since 2019 that has been my life. Like, every time something has gone wrong or I've fought change, I have suffered more. My goal by the time I was 30 was to be self-employed. And we are coming up on almost a year of me not clocking into anybody's job for a day-to-day paycheck. All of my lights are still on. I'm still in my apartment. I still go out to eat. I still get Longhorn crab legs at least once or twice a week. Like, you really gotta have more faith in yourself and in your abilities, because whatever is gonna happen in life is really gonna happen. And I think that was something I was always afraid of, is like not having a plan. I feel like when you come from a family where people have worked on jobs 30, 40 plus years, even if they are entrepreneurs, it's like, you need to have a plan, you need to have a plan. And they will try to scare you into staying the same. And I've just known for like a very long time, like, listen, that job shit is not for me. Like, when I have to go and do a client, like, prime example, last Saturday, I don't even know how I didn't crash and burn, but I literally had a photo shoot at 4:30. Then had to turn around and get on the road and drive almost 2 hours to go do makeup for a fraction of a bridal party. And then I still had like an hour or so drive home. So I literally put in like almost a 16-hour day. And I was in a perfect mood. 8 hours clocking into somebody's job would have stressed me out. I would have been ready to go as soon as I clocked in. And honestly, I just feel like when you're doing what you love, like really, really following your passion, like it doesn't feel like work. And I was scared to quit my job, but y'all know, like, I quit to go to school. I was really scared to do it, but like life really has not been this good ever. And I feel like if I would have known just by taking that leap and just like trusting God enough to trust myself that I could really do this, if I would have felt this way years ago, ain't no telling what my bank account would look like or what my life would look like. But we here now, so we gonna start where we at and just be grateful for all the lessons that we learned when I was scared. Because now that I know that, like, at the end of the day, everything is gonna pan out the way it's supposed to, just do it. Like, it can't get any simpler than that. Speak on, you know, me quitting my job and me talking about all of this stuff as well. My next point, validation cannot be given from people who haven't done shit. People who are afraid to live their own life or follow their own dreams will always think that when you say you want to do something that is not ordinary, it's always going to sound crazy. You always, you know, they're always going to try to scare you into the what ifs. And it's just like, I mean, if that's how you feel and you don't trust yourself enough, then that's fine. But like, your doubts and your fears don't have anything to do with me. And a lot of my 20s, literally, y'all gonna keep hearing me refer to 2019 because that was literally the year that changed my life for real, for real. I would be like, oh, I want to do XYZ. And then I would tell somebody, whether it was family or it was friends, and it's people that's no shade, it's people that's clocking into a very routine job that they hate, they complain about every single day, and it's like, I don't know if I would do that. Well, what you gonna do for benefits? Well, what you gonna do if, and it's like, instead of trying to cause me more anxiety, why don't you try giving me a little bit of support? But you can't expect support from people who don't even believe in themselves. You gotta stop seeking validation from people who not really out here doing shit. Like, somebody who is not making 6 figures plus from being a makeup artist or entrepreneur, like, it's not, I'm not saying that your advice is invalid, but I mean, what you say to me, I'm gonna take what I need, and whatever does not resonate, like the tarot reader say, take what's for you and leave the rest to somebody else. I'm gonna leave the rest to somebody else. I'm gonna turn my ears off, because if you have anything else to say to me other than something that's showing support, I'm cool off you. Because one thing about it, whenever you are taking a leap, like me leaving my job to go to school, I didn't even tell my family when I quit my job. I just quit. And I applied for school, and I was just like, well, I'll figure it out. I mean, if I've never been good at nothing else, I've been good at, you know, I can always find a good job. Like, that's, I don't know, like, y'all, that's just really like a talent that I have. I'm like an Indeed expert. But I didn't tell them because I didn't want anybody stressing me out, like, oh, well, how you gonna pay your rent? Well, how you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? Like, I don't need you adding extra shit that I'm already worried about in the back of my head onto what I'm already trying to do, because all that's going to do is scare me out of doing what it is that I really want to do, and then I'm not going to do it. And to trust myself and to just do what I want to do. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, I quit a job that paid me a lot of money, but I'm also about to be a licensed esthetician at the end of next month. And I can make well over 6 figures, and that's just with one career. I'm still a makeup artist. I still like to dabble in photography. I still like to help with content creation and social media management, and I know how to go through brand deals and things like that. Like, that's literally just one source of income that's guaranteed to bring me over 6 figures. But if I would have allowed people to make me feel like, oh, you can't quit your job to go do this, then I would have been stuck and I would have been miserable, and I would have still been at that, well, hell, I probably would have been fired by now, because I'm not gonna hold y'all, I really did hate my boss. But yeah, like, we ain't doing that. We ain't seeking validation from people who not doing shit that we trying to do, and that are not successful in what we're trying to do. And even if they are successful, that goes back to everybody not being your friend, because also in my 20s, I had a mentor and somebody that I looked to, and it was like, once I got to a level where I felt like it was noticeable that I was getting good, that person started acting funny with me, and it really did hurt my feelings. But at the end of the day, everybody ain't your friend, and sometimes when people see you as competition, shit get a little sticky. So yeah, we not seeking validation from nobody in our 30s but ourselves. Your trust and your belief in yourself, and praying to God and keeping God first in everything that you decide to do should be enough for you. Because when I want something, I really I go into my space and I pray about it. I ask God for signs, and if it's for me, like, guide me, please, because I know that I can't do it without you, and I definitely need you to keep pushing me on the days where I feel like I can't keep going. Because there were plenty of times when I was in school with stuff that was happening, not necessarily school-wise, because I've always been like hella smart and been able to get stuff at school, but just like in my personal life, there was just a lot of shit that was going on throughout school where I felt like, you know, I can't be in school and deal with this stuff right here at the same time. But hell, I made it happen. So you need to trust yourself. So that was also my next point. Always talking about, you know, that it gets better. And my 13th point was fuck them jobs. I think I kind of already covered that. Like, I am pro, please don't, if your job is stressing you out and you know you don't want to quit, please don't ever ask me, because I'm going to absolutely tell you to quit the job. I'm going to tell you to quit. I don't care if you don't have a backup plan. I don't care if you don't have no money saved. I'm going to tell you to quit. Because one thing about it, a job is always hiring. And if you got a car that got gas, there is Instacart, there's DoorDash, there's Uber Eats. There's so many other avenues that you can use to get income. If you really need it and you really a hustler, there's a way to get money. Fuck these jobs. These people do not care. If you croak over and die, somebody is going to replace you immediately. Like, and again, that goes back into blind loyalty. Like, as someone who has an entrepreneurial spirit and businesses, like, baby, I'm not working that hard for nobody that mistreat me. I am a great employee, but when my job don't care about me, then I don't care about the job. And that's just simple. Like, you not about to work me to the bone and then not care about me. Like, I will never forget, like, one of the last jobs that I had, my uncle that I was super close to, who raised me, they literally called me as I was about to get into the procession for his funeral to see what time I will be done with the service, to see if I could come in for a later shift. I'm grieving and you want me to come clock into your fucking job? Are you dumb? I was done literally maybe a week after that. Didn't even stay. Because that just, yeah, like, I don't want to be nowhere. I don't want to work with nobody that don't value me, that don't see me as a human being. If you just see me as a number, then I just see you as a job. And that's just simple. Like, that's one of the things that I'm so excited about, is like expanding my business and just all the goals that I have for myself, because I really want to employ a lot of young Black creatives, especially Black women, and create a healthy work environment with people who just love what they do, and we can all grow together. Like, one thing about me, I don't give a damn who I've worked with, the things that I've done. I'm never too good to grow. I'm never too good to learn something from somebody. Like, the second that you feel like you better than somebody is when you start to lose. The next bullet point says your purpose will make way for you. Let me tell you something. One thing about it, there are so many different brands of water. It's so many different brands of bread. It's different brands of everything. Paper towels, tissue, you name it, it's a different brand. My point is, it don't matter how many people do what you do. Nobody is you, and that's literally your power. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. Like, I went up on my makeup prices, and it was honestly because it's like I have a target client. I don't want to work with nobody that want a glitter cut crease. I'm sorry if that's you and that's the type of makeup that you like. I'm not trying to be mean or funny, but straight up, I want the people who want the nice, soft, Hollywood glam, like, wearable makeup. I don't want to be an Instagram makeup artist, to say the least. And I'm like, you know, if I'm going to curate that type of experience and there's a certain type of client that I want, I need to raise my price, and I also need to elevate the experience. Because at the end of the day, like, when people go into these stores that buy designer shit, they not going in there debating no prices. If that's what they want, that's what they paying for. And makeup is not a necessity, it's a luxury. So you should expect to pay a cute coin when you go and sit in somebody's chair, especially if that person is good. It's space for everybody. Everybody has a target audience. And as I get older and I have real bills, I've gotten clear on who I want my audience to be. I want professional people who know how to show up on time, that know that, like, makeup is a necessity, that doesn't look at it like, oh, I'm paying you XYZ to just do my makeup. It's like, this isn't my hobby. This is how I pay my bills. Because the money that you're paying me, so I gotta put gas in my car to get here. I have to buy product to even be able to use on your face. I still gotta pay for insurance out of my pocket. I still gotta live. I gotta be able to pay my bills. And I feel like, you know, sometimes when you have a career that's a trade, people don't look at or respect what you do as a job. I don't give a damn if it's just being a talent coordinator. At the end of the day, like, my job is how I pay my bills. When you go to work, don't you got health benefits and you got to pay taxes and shit like that? If I'm charging everybody $65 to do a full face, I'm ultimately shooting myself in the foot, especially if I'm using high-end product. So just being around people who value you more, that understand, you know, what you bring to the table, that's something that I feel like is super important. And in my 20s, I used to let a lot of people get over on me because price and discussing price used to make me so uncomfortable. Now I gladly tell somebody, you want a luxury experience, $150. You either got it or you don't. And if you don't, it's nothing wrong with that. But you gotta live within your means and go with somebody that can help you. Unfortunately, that person won't be me, and that doesn't mean that I'm too high. It just doesn't mean, it means that either you don't have it or you don't value my work enough to feel like it's that. And that's your business. It ain't got nothing to do with me, because I got plenty of people that sit in my chair that pay that, no problem, and tip on top of it. So, you know, your purpose is gonna make way for you. What's meant for you is gonna be for you. Like, rejection is, you're gonna have to get used to a lot of it, especially if you're trying to go into entrepreneurship. And I think in my 20s, rejection was something that I really did fight hard with, and I always took it personal instead of realizing, like, damn, maybe something better is gonna come out of this. So that's, you know, another point later. 15, therapy, bitch. I started going to therapy in 2015 after going through a terrible breakup. And I think that me spiraling was really more about the disrespect, on top of the fact that I'd also just lost my stepfather maybe like a year and a half prior to all of this stuff happening. Therapy is the best thing that I have come across in my 20s besides my peace. I don't know why people think you have to be crazy or something has to be wrong for you to go to therapy. Baby, we are all traumatized by something. And talking to someone who does not know you, that is a stranger, that is not going to coddle the way that you feel, or, you know, try to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Appease you because you're their family, you're their friend, is the kick in the ass that I never knew I needed. I have changed so much. God is still working on me. I'm not, you know, I'm definitely a more mature woman. I ain't gonna say that I don't still have some ways, because I would be lying. But therapy has really changed my life. There's been a lot of healing, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of things that I feel like I've come to understand about myself and other people just from going to therapy. Just even the way that I like process my hurt now, or, you know, the things that people do to me or say to me. Honestly, me going to therapy has kept a lot of people out the hospital. We gonna keep it a buck. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, I'm dead ass. Therapy has really calmed me down. If you have health benefits, please, especially, I mean, well, it's not just for black girls, even though the website does say for black girls. If you're not black, you can obviously use the website. The therapist isn't gonna just turn you around because you're not African American, or not even just African American, because you're not black. But therapy for black girls is such a great resource. A lot of the therapists that they list on there do take insurance. So if you are dealing with a lot, and even if you feel like you have people to talk to, but you just don't want somebody that you know personally in your business, take your ass to therapy. Your friend or your family member sometimes gonna tell you what you want to hear, or they're gonna say whatever they feel like is in your best interest sometimes, and sometimes they gonna encourage you to do some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody, what's the word? What am I trying to say? If somebody hurts you and you go and you talk to somebody who cares about you, their response is probably not going to be as healthy as the response that you would get from a licensed therapist. That part is what I think I benefit from the most, is just talking to somebody who doesn't know me, because then the emotions and the feelings are out of it. And it's not that, you know, like, therapists aren't empathetic. They don't have a personal connection with you for them to be coddling the way that you feel about certain stuff. So you can, you know, if you can afford it, if it's in your budget, I definitely recommend therapy, even if it's not once a week, once a month, or, you know, being able to just check in. I definitely recommend therapy. That has been something that's been so important to me in my 20s. So with that being said, therapy, let's jump into timelines. Timelines are not real. When I was in high school, middle school, whatever, I felt like 25 was old, child. And now I'm about to be 30. I was just like, you know, I need to meet the love of my life. And by the time I'm 25, I want to be married and, you know, having my first kid and this, that, and the third. And then it's like 24 get here. And like, I mean, I was dating. I was dating. But like, have a kid, I don't know, like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, timelines are not real. And I feel like when you put pressure on yourself to do or accomplish things in a certain amount of time, all that does is just causes you more anxiety. Then you feel like a disappointment when things don't pan out the way you feel like they should, because you put this pressure on yourself to do certain things at a certain time. Like, just live your life, bro. Time, like, whatever is meant to be for you is going to be. Don't add the pressure of feeling like you need to have certain things accomplished or do certain things in a certain time frame, because that alone is going to paralyze you. Like, anything that you feel like every little wrong turn is going to make you anxious. And now, like, at 30, I'm not even going to hold you. I just feel like if marriage and kids happen, then they happen. If it don't, like, I really ain't stunting it. Like, that fairy tale shit that I had when I was younger about how I felt like my life's supposed to be, it's like, it's honestly a joke now. Like, girl, you thought. Don't put pressure on yourself to feel like you have to complete or do certain things at a certain time, and if you don't, you're a failure. Because one thing that I know about families, and I can only speak for black families because obviously I'm black, they love to, well, when you gonna get married, or like, when you gonna, it's like, can you please? Marriage, home ownership, hell, going to college is not everybody's dream. Like, you don't, again, that goes back to living for yourself, and like, don't let other people's expectations of what they feel like your life should look like be the reason why you be out here with all this anxiety. Like, please, do you live for yourself? Them people had their opportunity to be 20. It ain't there. It's not their life. It's yours. So please, like, don't stress yourself out about timelines. Don't. Like, I'm ready to find my man and travel all over the world and create memories, and then we can worry about being married or being parents. But anything before that, like, I'm good. Like, I promise you I'm good. Like, if I have kids, cool. If not, then I don't. I talked about this bullet point earlier when I was talking about poor minds, but I want to talk about closed mouths don't get fed. And I also want to tap into y'all, like, how I'm low-key the manifestation queen. I talk a lot of shit into existence when it comes down to my life, y'all. Like, to the point where I've really had to learn to stop saying just any old thing, because whether it's been good or bad, I speak it into existence. If I worry about something too much that really was nothing to worry about, either I cause myself to have a panic attack and stress out about it, or it actually ends up manifesting into my life because I've stressed myself out about it so much. But when it comes down to closed mouths not getting fed, I think of every great opportunity that I've gotten in regards to, like, my career, makeup, whatever. It's because I put myself in rooms. Like, if you don't speak up and let people know what you can do and what you're capable of, how do you expect them to know? Like, you know, I'm grateful for the times that, like, people, you know, have seen my work and have come to me. But a lot of the grand opportunities that I have is because I spoke up. Prime example, and I use this all the time because this was also, 2015 was also a very pivotal moment in my life. I just gotten out of a shitty relationship, and at the same time, I just started working with my first major artist. But you know why the opportunity came about was because a year prior, I was doing another celebrity client's makeup for Black Expo, and this person's child and best friend and niece had come to the show, and they were backstage with us, and they were supposed to be forming some type of, like, singing group or something like that. Like, they were supposed to be forming some type of group, and they were talking about it. And mind you, because the people that I was working with at Black Expo were from Atlanta, they could have easily just thought, you know, like, oh, she must have traveled up with them from Atlanta. They wouldn't have known that I was from Columbia and that I was this close to Charlotte. And I was just like, you know, hey, like, they mentioned they were starting a group, and I was like, well, if y'all don't have a makeup artist yet, like, you know, I live here, I take care of them whenever they come to the city, you know, I would love the opportunity to work with y'all, or if y'all ever need a makeup artist, just hit me up, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't think nothing else of it, to be honest. I forgot to even, like, leave my contact information. To this day, I still don't know how the artist's friend got my information to even be able to contact me, but from some shit that I said in May of 2014, it landed me a job February of 2015. So if you don't open your mouth, you are missing out on opportunities. Like, you have to be present. You have to put yourself in the room. If you don't speak up, you are leaving money on the table, you're leaving experiences on the table, you're leaving opportunities on the table. And that's not just in regards to like jobs, even relationships. When y'all out here dealing with these men, don't be out here just taking whatever they give y'all. Like, let your intentions be known. Hey, you know, I want to be married, I want to have kids, so on and so forth, or whatever your wish fulfillment is. Let that be known. So that way, if that's not what that person is about, or they on some, oh, you know, I'm just chilling, okay, well then you know that that person is not the person for you. And you can, you know, thank you for the date, thank you for your time, but you know, I think I'm good. We want different things. Like, be intentional with your moves, with your dating, with your life, with your dreams. Like, everything is connected, and everything that you do has a reaction. So if you out here dating somebody and you know you want kids, you want to be married, and like that's not a life that they see for themselves, why would you continue to nurture it? Because to try to continue to be with someone and think that you can make them want those things is kind of manipulative, and you're also kind of setting yourself up for failure. So you got to be intentional. The next point, my next to the last point, should I say, rejection is protection. I talked about this earlier. Like, I was someone who would take rejection very hard in regards to like jobs and opportunities, and you know, not getting booked for certain things that I wanted to get booked for, and God would either follow up with something that was 10 times better, or I would hear horror stories about the opportunities that I wanted or the places that I thought I wanted to be in. It's like, damn, like I'm glad that I didn't take that opportunity, because that could have been me in that situation. So sometimes you have to understand, like, things don't happen for you for your own protection. And like I said, I think that was one of the toughest things that I had to learn, was like, you know, what's for you is never gonna miss you. And if the person, the job, the money, whatever, the client is yours, then you're not gonna miss out on it. But if it's not meant for you, then it's not gonna come to you. So understand that sometimes when certain things don't happen, it's not because, you know what I'm saying, because you aren't talented or you aren't beautiful enough or you don't have XYZ. It's just because it's not your time, or that was not your opportunity, and that's okay. Like, it is okay. I just feel like when I don't get certain jobs or certain things don't go my way, I just literally, I stop what I'm doing and I thank God, like, you know, whatever that was you were protecting me from, thank you, I appreciate it. And I be damned if a lot of times the very thing that I was being protected from doesn't show itself to me, and I'm like, whew, glad I dodged that bullet. It is always happening for your highest good, and you just and I feel like if you start to look at it that way, regardless of how bad you want something, when you start to look at things that way, then it's just like, okay, like you honestly get over it a lot quicker. Like, okay, cool, that didn't happen for me because maybe something else was for me. And then the last part, which I feel like is the most emotional. I probably should have did this first because I feel like this part is really going to make me a little teary. But loving yourself throughout the entire process. I have battled with so much in my 20s in regards to my image, my self-worth, my self-love, just a lot. I have, and sometimes I still am, really hard on myself, because when you start the same place as certain people, like, really comparison is truly the thief of all joy. But it's hard not to see other people who look like you, that have had the same opportunities as you, that have been in the same places and situations as you, and watch them elevate and it not happen for you. And I've never been jealous, But I would be lying if I've ever said that I wasn't like a, well, why not me type situation. And it's like, it wasn't you because you weren't putting the work that you needed to be putting in to be where that person is at. And I think that that level of honesty took me a while to get to. Like, you got to be real with yourself sometimes about why things are not going the way that they're supposed to, other than them not being for you. Sometimes it's because you aren't doing what you need to do to get to where you need to be, and that should be your fault. And it'd be a hard pill to swallow, but I feel like, once again, accountability, holding yourself accountable, it has truly changed my life. Shout out to my therapist. Even on your worst days, like, you really have to love yourself through it all. It took me so long. That's why I feel like, you know, I take it real personal when I feel like people try to, when people say things that are like offensive to my self-esteem, because especially growing up as like a dark-skinned black girl, like, I was always teased for so much. So it took me a really long time to even like see myself as beautiful. And I was so tomboyish, so it's just like, you know, even like, you know, boys liking me or so, like, it just, a lot of stuff made me uncomfortable because I was so used to being put down and picked on and teased my whole entire life. And I feel like a lot of times I internalized things that people said about me as my opinions of myself, because it's like, if people are saying this, then it must be true, because I wasn't self-aware, because I didn't have good self-esteem, because I didn't have self-love. And I think back to like that young 20-year-old who was just trying to just be everything that she felt like everybody else wanted her to be, and look the way that she felt like, you know, other people felt like she should look, and work the jobs and do the things that she felt like everybody else felt like she should do. And I really just want to hug that girl and let her know, like, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be you. Like, you are beautiful in your own right. You are so smart. You're so talented. And like, if you just keep your head on straight and just really trust God to carry you through, like, everything is going to be okay. So I feel like loving yourself throughout the process is definitely easier said than done, but it's definitely worth it. So I think I said, like, there's a lot of things that I feel like were like super important that I learned in my 20s, but that definitely might be like the hardest lesson that I've had to learn, but the one that's been the most rewarding. Loving myself when I come home and my hair is all over the place and I don't have makeup on, or when I'm having, you know, a breakout on my face because I done ate dairy knowing that I'm lactose and it messes with my skin. Like, learning to love yourself through it all is something that is super hard, but it's so important to the journey, because when you love yourself, the things that you tolerate, the things that you accept, it changes. My self-esteem was super low when I really didn't love myself or care about myself. The shit that I tolerated from people was insane. And sometimes, like, it makes me so angry to look back sometimes, and like, I've allowed a lot of people to get away with a lot of shit when I was this damaged person. So yeah, y'all, like, these 20s, it's been a ride, but I'm so grateful for, I can't talk to y'all and line my lips at the same time, so let me do this. My 20s have been a hell of a ride. I've had some very wild and crazy times, and I've had some very humbling times. I've been blessed. I've been able to do what I love, and I just want to dedicate my 30s to just living my life and doing whatever it is that makes me happy. Putting myself first, learning to, it's so funny, I was talking to my grandma about this. I was with my grandma earlier, but learning to say no a lot more. Like, that people pleasing shit is out the window. When I don't want to do something, I don't want to go somewhere, I don't want to be around somebody, my answer is no. and I'm gonna say it with my chest, and I'm gonna mean it, and I'm gonna not feel bad about saying no, because it's my prerogative. And I should be able to tell people no and not feel bad about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I know this video is like super long-winded, but I hope that was something that y'all enjoyed. It's definitely different. So those are 20 of the most important things I feel like my 20s taught me. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my rollers and get ready. I literally have had Alex waiting on me for like the last, probably like the last 30 minutes, 25-30 minutes, so I can take my birthday pictures. Of course, I will insert them in here. I'll be back to close it out after I finish out the look, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so this is the final look, you guys. I'm getting ready to take my pictures. By the way, I'm not naked. I do have on a bandeau. So yeah, this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys in advance for all the birthday wishes. I definitely greatly appreciate it, and I hope that you all enjoyed that. I like doing videos, I guess, sitting down and talking for you guys to get to know me a little bit better. I have gotten quite a few subscribers since the last time I've uploaded some content, so hey y'all, welcome to my channel, even though I did greet y'all in the intro. But that is it. Thank you guys again, like I said, so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Good luck with the giveaway. I can't wait to see who wins. And yeah, I'll see you on my next one. Bye.